Hey, what's up everyone? Matt the Riff Master here, hope you're all doing well. So today is Restringing Day, one of the most glorious days for all guitar players. It's good fun, we gotta love it. So I thought I would take you all through the steps I take when restringing guitars and the processes I go through cleaning, from cleaning to putting the strings on and everything in between really. So let's take a look at the essential things you need before we get started. So the things you'll need before you start restringing your guitar and cleaning your guitar, obviously, strings. I use the Early Balls RPS 11 gauge because they are amazing, super sturdy, stays in tune great, can't go wrong. Guitar polish. Make your guitar nice and shiny. I use the Dunlop 65 because that again is amazing, works great. Beautiful finish to the guitar, clean and shiny, just like new. A polishing cloth. Now this is just my personal taste, this is what I use. I use the Dunlop Guitar Fingerboard Care Kit, which is specifically for your fretboard. It polishes it, gets rid of all the grime and dirt, and also conditions the frets as well to make them healthy, which is great. So recommended highly. If you haven't got that, go get it. And of course a string cutter because it makes life a lot easier, and also a string winder if you haven't got locking nuts. As you know, a couple of my guitars I have the locking tuners on, which is great, which I love because string winding drives me crazy, but they are very handy. Instead of using your hands, these are great. So today I'll be restringing my Gibson Flying V, which doesn't have locking tuners on, so we shall need this. And lastly, and most importantly, I think, well, yeah, one of the most important, coffee. Keep you on the ball, keep you on guard, and just helps the process go through a lot smoother and a lot easier. Let's get started. So firstly, we want to get rid of these old strings. So let's do it. The way I like to do it is to, especially with these, slacken off the strings, all of them, loosen them up. Once you've slackened the strings off, what I'll then do is you can remove them from the peg, but sometimes I like to take the string cutter, slice them down the middle. Once you've clipped them through the centre, you can just remove them from the saddle. Put them to one side and then just unwind them from the tuning pegs. Remember, always being careful because strings are pointy and they're painful. If they get you, it's going to hurt. This one's just not happening. So, once you've removed all the strings, wrap them up, wind them up so they're out of the way, safe, because like I said, they're quite dangerous. You step on them, it's going to hurt. So wrap them up, stick them to one side out of the way. So that's step one done. So next we'll get the polish and we'll go over the body and the hardware, get it all cleaned up, looking nice and new. Right, so next up, polishing. Like I said, we'll start off with the body and the hardware and then we'll move on to the fretboard. So what I'll do is I'll take my guitar polish and my polishing cloth and I'll do 2 or 3 sprays of the polish onto the cloth. Don't forget to shake it first and then just evenly apply it over the body of the guitar, making sure to rub it all in. And then when you've gone over the area that you're doing and you've rubbed it all in, turn it over, take a dry part of the cloth and just buffer, just to really make sure it's all rubbed in and give it that nice shiny look to it. So repeat that process all over the rest of the body, on the back and on the back of the neck and the headstock. Also on the hardware as well, don't forget the hardware, because that's got to look nice and shiny, especially silver. It's going to look amazing. Done. So that's the body done. So now we'll move on to the fretboard and giving that a nice clean, because that's where most of the gunk will build up through your playing. So we'll give that a nice clean, make it nice and healthy and fresh. So now I'll move on to cleaning the neck up, and like I said, I use the Dunlop fingerboard care kit. There's a video on my channel actually of me doing kind of a review and sort of how to apply it and how to use it. So I won't go too up close and personal with it, because like I said, if you want to see how to apply it and all that, just go check the video out on my channel and you'll see what the deal is. So now we'll apply this to the fretboard and give it a nice healthy, fresh look. So now I've applied the first step of the fretboard cleaner. I'll now take the microfiber cloth and go over the fret wires just to buffer them up, try and get rid of any grime that may be sitting on them. This does give it a really nice sort of shiny kind of look to it, I've noticed since I've been doing it, which is super cool. Makes it So once we've done that, I will now move on to step 2 and condition my fretboard, which is a great thing, makes it look so nice, really healthy, and just a great piece of kit. So let's do it. Done. So now the next step for that is we'll just wipe it in, rub it into the fretboard with a cloth, buffer it up, make it look nice and good. Make sure you cover all the fret, make sure it all gets some of this nice, lovely conditioner. Because you want your fretboard to be healthy. It's something you have to look after. You know, you think about it, it's a bit of wood at the end of the day. It's something that needs to be tended to and treated to look after it, just so it looks as healthy as it can be. Especially, you know, like rosewood, it's a very nice piece of wood. So definitely looking after your fretboard is essential. So conditioning it, cleaning it, giving it some love and attention that, you know, it does deserve, because, you know, we all love our guitars and we all want them to look at their best. So it's sometimes a time-consuming process, but the end result is just amazing. So it's definitely worth it. It will look great and it'll just be cool. So really give it the attention that it needs and it deserves. Get it nice and healthy and look after it, because you look after your instrument and it'll look after you. Sometimes it won't agree with you, but everyone has those days, but you've just got to show it love. So once you've, well, that's the pretty much the last stage of the cleaning process. For me, polished the body, polished and conditioned the neck, polished it up. It's all looking shiny. You've done the pickups, the hardware. Looks beautiful. So now all that's left to do is stick the new set of strings on. So now the fun part, restringing. What I'll do is I'll put a couple on, show you kind of what I do and how I do it, and then I'll try and speed the footage up because it can be quite tedious, you know, doing every single string. So let's go. Like I say, I'll take you through the first couple, and I'll try to speed it up for you so you don't have to sit through it. You get the general idea. So what I generally do when I'm restringing is obviously first I would feed it through the bridge, bring it all the way up just so you know it's, you know, the ball's slotted in. And then what I do before I feed it through the machine head, well, I'll feed it through the machine head first. And then once it's through, making sure, you know, because on this Les Paul it hasn't got a like a lock-in bridge and saddle, so it moves, which is quite annoying. But what I'll do is I'll feed the string through the machine head, and then what I'll do is I'll pull it so it's tight, but then I'll pull it back a little way back through the machine head, so there's some slack on the string. I've lost my string winder. It's not a good start. 2 seconds. Here it is. So like I said, I'll pull it back through so you've got some slack, as you can see here. Take the string winder and I'll start tightening it. And then as it gets to about a right angle, what I'll do is I'll point the string up. Now there's no crazy science to that, other than it gets out of the way. It's sort of pointing in the air and it's spinning, so it's not going to attack you. And then once I've done that, I'll continue to tighten it, and then gradually you'll feel the slack that you had on the string begin to tighten. Then as it does, just make sure you slot it so it falls into the nut. Bring it up to tension. There you go. Beautiful. So I'll take you through another one, and then like I said, I'll speed it up for you because it can be quite tedious. See, the reason that I pull it back and put some have some slack on it through here is just to make sure you get enough windings around the peg, which will help it stay in tune. Because if you just pull it all the way through tight and tighten it, you're not going to have any winds around the peg, and that's not going to do any favours for staying in tune. It will just slip out of tune constantly. So once again, pull it through the bridge down here and then feed it back so you've got the slack. And then also what I've got to mention is what I do is I don't know if you can see, I kind of hold the string, but I take my index finger and I push on the string right at the hole of the tuning peg where the string goes through to like hold it, and then I push up with my fingers to hold this string tight, and then like I said, gradually tighten the string, angle it up so it gets out of the way, and then just wind it round to tension. Getting 2 or 3 winds around the peg I think is advisable. Anything less than that you may encounter some tuning problems. It might slip out of tune when you're playing if you play quite hard, and it'll slip out of tune. So just bring it up to tension, and there you go. That's pretty much it. So I'll do all the rest now, and then like I said, I'll try to speed the footage up. If I can't, I'm very sorry. Just fast forward maybe. So see you in a bit. So there we go, all completely strung. That was great fun. Like I said, non-locking tuners drive me crazy, but it's fun, it's worth it, it's all good. So now I've restrung it. Beautiful strings, as you can hear. Lovely and in tune. So the next step I would take then is to just simply plug it into a tuner and tune it up. What I'd advise to do before you, well, when you're tuning, is stick it through a tuner, open tune it first, get them all in tune, and then take the string and give them a good stretch all the way up the neck. This will just help sit them in properly. So give them a good stretch all the way up, and it's just going to help them sit and sort of settle. And then repeat that process 3 times, tune it, stretch them out, tune it again, stretch them out, tune it again, stretch them out. Once you've done that about 3 times, you'll find that when you stretch it, it won't really go out of tune that much, which means that the strings have settled nicely. So then all you have to do now is just play and shred until the next time you have to do it. So there you go, completely restrung, polished, cleaned. Ugh. You can't beat it, and freshly strung guitar, polished, is just a great feeling, great to play. So now this is ready to be played, which is what I'll be doing for most of the day now. So thanks for checking out this video, everyone. I hope you liked it. I hope you kind of got some tips from it, maybe not, I don't know. But that's what I do. If you've got any tips for me of ways that you do it or anything like that, just stick it in the comments, or if you've got any questions about it, again, put it in the comments and let me know. And yeah, so hit the like button if you liked it, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, that'd be very cool. And as always, I've been the Riff Master. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next time. See ya!